Welcome to the Arsenal show. We are live and it's the post-match reaction of Arsenal's 2-2 draw against Tottenham. 2 points dropped in a game where many would say it's a fair result for Tottenham and Arsenal. But we have to look at it in case of we're looking to try and keep up with Man City, who are the bar in this league. And dropping points at home is not the way we're going to do that. I'm joined by Steve K. How you doing, Steve?
Yeah, how you doing, mate? Yeah, not too bad. Hello, everybody out there.
Russ says pathetic. He's not happy, and he has every reason to feel that way. Johnny says hi. How you doing? How you doing, Johnny? What's your thoughts on the game, Johnny? 2-2 draw. Arsenal took the lead to make it 1-0. To make it 2-1, and then literally seconds later, I think that's what hurts people as well. Getting that, I think that's what hurt people the most is literally seconds after Bukayo Saka puts Arsenal 2-1 ahead in the second half. They go on and concede from a silly mistake from Jorginho. Steve, can you summarise the game quickly in your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought we were poor, mate. I don't think they did a really way of dressing it up. I thought Tottenham played quite well. I thought they knocked it about well. I thought they sort of our dangerous players. I thought they, a couple of them they had in their pockets at times. I just didn't think they could. We got going at all. I thought our midfield was probably the worst I've seen them all season. I thought probably the attack wasn't much better. And yeah, I mean, and Tottenham really never give us any much trouble up the other end. But I just thought we was lackluster. Thought we were slow, and I was just really, really disappointed with the performance. I don't know what it was. It wasn't just the odd one player here and there. For me, it was just the collective. I mean, look, Tottenham did well. I thought they did well. They're the away team, and they come to Arsenal, and be fair to them, they played their way they've been playing. And personally, me watching the game, when they came forward, I was a bit worried, and that was on most occasions when they started coming at us. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh God, I kept saying there's going to be a goal here. They're going to score it. I can see something happening. Something's going to, So me thinking that, was not good for me. But yeah, I thought we were just poor all round, really.
Yeah, I thought the same. I said in my post-match reaction that in previous seasons, when they'd scored at like the 42nd minute, we'd have been counting down the minutes and worried that they're going to score again. And it felt like that today. It did feel like, oh no, as long as there's 4 minutes of added on time in the first half, let's just get in. And it's just like, I don't want to be thinking that of Arsenal. Like no teams have been coming to the Emirates Stadium and getting anything from us. And recently this season we've been open in games against lesser teams. And in the game against Tottenham, I didn't think in the first half an hour they were going to be any trouble. I thought that it looked like they'd come to Arsenal full of beans, thinking that they can play their open football, and it didn't work because we'd shut them down. We were pressing well, but we just didn't take our chances. Like we 1-0 up, Maddison makes that mistake. We had an opportunity to make it 2-0, and we're putting it over the bar. We've got to punish them there. We've got to punish them. 2-0, boom, and they feel like they've got nothing left. They'd have felt sort of shattered there because it'd have been a bit like the reverse of what we had with Jorginho, where he made a mistake, but Maddison's made a mistake, and it's led to a goal. So, but we would have been 2-0 ahead, and it's times like that where you've got to be clinical and you've got to be ruthless, and we just weren't today. Let me quickly go to some of the comments before we move on. Johnny says, extremely disappointed with the performance and the balance of play. I hate to say it, but they deserve more out of the game. No Trossard or Martinelli. Rice going off at half-time didn't help.
No, it didn't.
Left side. Adrian Amari. Arsenal finally get humbled, celebrating Rodri red card. Now Rice gets injured. Hopefully the injury is not too bad. Romero had enough yellows, worthy fouls to have been sent off 3 times. Gabriel missing that massive chance turned the course of the game. 100%. It gives the other team hope. When they're 1-0 at half time, 1-0 just coming in before half time, they're thinking we're still in this. Arsenal have had that chance from Maddison. They've been all over us. We've been trying again, not really getting through. We're still in this game. And then when they get that goal, it just turned. It looked like they thought this game's up for grabs. And it was. Eddie and Jesus, time and time again, Eddie proves he isn't a top 6 striker. Jesus is the team that is pressing close pressing to close the gap on City. Should have been 3-0 at half time and game won. Steve, Eddie wasn't great today. Jesus from the left, I felt it was a bit lost. All right when he was on the ball, but that's not his position. If he's coming deep, you want him a bit more central.
Yeah. I think he got it wrong today, Arteta. Yeah. He got it totally wrong, and I think that's the second time this season he's got it wrong. And is it maybe he's trying too many things? I mean, look, we did have a few injuries and we had to play players, but I felt that playing Nketiah to Jesus, I thought he was wrong from the start.
Yeah.
Because I just thought if you put in Jesus out on the left, you're taking something away. I kept hearing these people saying, "Oh yeah, City, he comes out on the left." Gary Neville saying, "I'm talking about no, he's going to go out on the left, and he's going to be like non-existent
Lost
through the game." And I was right. I had these people get jobs. I have no idea. Stick to playing football, and then that's it, and go and open up a pub. That's what they should do. But it was wrong. He got it wrong. I mean, I would have played Nelson. I would have played Reece Nelson from the start.
He looked sharp. For me, I thought it was a game for, because obviously Trossard was. I thought it was a game for Emil Smith-Rowe, and when he come on, I thought he looked sharp.
He did. He looked sharp.
I thought he made a difference. I thought if he was been a bit longer, it could have been integral to the game if he would have come on a bit earlier. But he didn't get much time. It's good to see him getting minutes, and he's actually the manager's faults. So
he knows what it's about.
If anyone's worried about Emil Smith-Rowe, I do think we're going to see him this season. I do think he's going to be part of the manager's plan. So I'm not worried about that. And as well, another player that's getting on quite often is Reece Nelson, and actually having a bit of a spark. Wasn't quite the difference today, but
he was.
Again, the manager's is definitely trusting him in a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as soon as he come on, as I said, I would have started from the start. So because I've seen him come on recently in games, and he looks lively, and he looks like he always wanted to do the ball, and he did again today. I just would have thought it would have got Emil, on the left. Yeah, I can see that, but but I think if you're going to go and take the game to Tottenham, we're at home. I think Reece Nelson probably would have been good to start, because we didn't have that punch like we did when we got Martinelli on the left. He's more direct, but I don't know. I think he just got it wrong. I think there was other areas of the pitch he got wrong as well from the off, which surprised me. And again, it weren't a great day for Mikel Arteta, to be honest with you. But I mean, they gave us something a little bit different, didn't they? When all the substitutes come on, to be fair, that none of them did that bad. Do you know what I mean? They did give us that extra lift. But Rice was a big loss. Rice going off was...
It was a calf injury.
Yeah, he's had his ankle, I think, in strapped up. I think, and I mean, I'm not 100% on that, but
because he didn't look happy when he was sitting on the bench, did he?
No, he didn't. He didn't look happy. It could be something a little bit serious. Don't know. He may have just got the ump. Do you know what I mean? Because he's had to come off. Yeah. But we'll find out more, won't we? I dare say in the next day or so. Hopefully, it's not too serious.
Yeah. All right. Let's get on to the player ratings. David Raya in his first North London derby. If anyone was thinking about who's going to be the starting goalkeeper, it looks like David Raya going forward.
Well, yeah, definitely. He looks like he's the new number one, doesn't it? He's played the last 3 games now. I really do feel sorry for Ramsdale. Do you know what I mean? I'm gutted for him. But again, I think today, definitely not at any fault for the goal. Made an absolute worldy save. Incredible save that was. And he also made another good save. His distribution was good. Another really good performance. Been giving him sevens, without him making a save, but he made a weldy and another save today. So maybe I should give him an 8. As I say, he wasn't at fault for the game. He's got no blame for the loss or for the draw. Rather, feels like a loss. But I'm going to give David Rayo. I'm going to give him an 8 today for those 2 really good saves. I thought world class save, one of them.
All right. William Saliba.
I thought Saliba did himself proud today. I thought he was the best of our defenders. Very good on the ball. Just again, he was like, just coming out of defence, and I didn't think he was one of them. He wasn't troubled at all at any point. I thought he played well. From what I saw, very very. He's so calm and collective on the ball, isn't he? And in situations when you need him to be. So, going to give William a 7.
7 for William Saliba. There's a lovely little turn on the ball.
Yeah,
they did where he sent 2 players.
Yeah, he done that last week as well.
The thing with Saliba today, there was about 3 occasions actually where he just poor passes, just gave them the ball back. I would have given him a 6 just because of that, and it's small margins when you're talking about him because all the rest of his game is class. So when you're talking about his sort of performance and the level that he is, you can't be just giving the ball back to the opposition players. It just kills. It kills the pace of the game. It stops the fluidity, and we have to start again. It's just a bit frustrating for a player that we know is quality. Gabriel.
Yeah, Gabriel. I mean, to be fair, he didn't have a lot to do. Can't really blame him for much, but as I say, Tottenham didn't offer much. The goals, I don't think he was to blame. 6.
6 for Gabriel. Ben White.
Didn't get forward again. Didn't get forward enough for me. Very quiet game from Ben White. There's nothing of note really that I can think of what Ben did. There's nothing. I can't think of anything.
There weren't much overlapping. I think he did try and get down the flanks a couple of times. There was a couple of crosses.
He's a couple of overhit balls through to Saka.
I'm trying to think. Were they doubling up in that area?
Yeah. I've given him a 6. I can't think of anything majorly great he did or majorly that he did wrong. So 6. But he needs to do more, Ben White. Do you know what I mean? He needs to get involved in the game a lot more than he did today. It weren't great.
Zinchenko.
Yeah, look, I mean, Zinchenko at times I didn't even know he was on the pitch. I didn't even know he was playing. I mean, he normally takes he gets forward, he gets hold of the ball, and he goes at the defence. I mean, I don't remember him once again being like in the final third of the field, like playing any balls through like he does, or pushing it out wide. I don't remember that. And again, I think he was sloppy at times today. Normally he's like the general, isn't he? He's the guy that controls everything for us. When he's at the back there, plays the ball out at the right time, the right passes into the midfield. I didn't see that at all today from Zinchenko. Poor today. Again, just not that he did anything wrong, just he didn't do anything. And this was the problem with a load of the Arsenal players today. They were just like, it was like this was a London derby, pals. Do you know what I mean? They needed to kick up the arse, it seemed to me. It looks like they were still in the dressing room or something, or I don't know.
I thought in the first half
Mm.
before the goal, they looked like they had it. It was theirs. It was theirs for the taking.
Yeah.
But in the second half, like they came out, got the goal, and again, you got sucker punch straight away, and then it was like it was. Let's not concede against Tottenham now.
No, I mean, I give him yeah, similar to Ben White, I suppose. 6 did nothing. I mean, maybe I should give White and Zinchenko 5s, because they were just, didn't offer
For me,
anything
I
in the
thought
game at
Ben
all.
White was better than Zinchenko. I thought Ben White.
Yeah,
Like I said,
I
he made a
give him
couple
a
of
5, I think.
of runs down the wing.
Yeah, 5,
First half,
6. Yeah, give him a
better.
6.
It's just
He was more a 5 than what White was. Put it that way. He's maybe just got into the 6s.
Declan Rice.
Yeah, I mean, again, to be honest with you, he didn't do much in the game, did he? Again, the midfield was like, we didn't take control of the game. He did his usual. He got some tackles in, but he wasn't the Declan Rice. Whether he was injured early on and he was like fighting his way through it, it really did look like that. So when he came off, maybe he'd been carrying an injury, but he didn't look like the Declan Rice. Again, very similar to all the other players. It was like there wasn't enough sort of like drive from them today. I don't know what it was. This was very un-Arsenal like today. I've got to give him a 6.
6 for Declan Rice. I thought that there's a couple of nice drives from Rice. I certainly felt the difference when he came off. There wasn't the same pace in the midfield.
No, definitely, yeah.
And it's probably why Zinchenko drifted out of the game a lot more when Jorginho came on, because Declan Rice does normally move more central and to the left when he's playing, which allows Odegaard on that right-hand side, whereas Jorginho looks like he tends to drift around a bit more, but again, more to the right. So it's a different. It was just a different Arsenal when Jorginho came on. So 6 for Rice. Fabio Vieira started the game ahead of Havertz. Was you surprised about that one?
Yeah, and I think it was a wrong decision in the end. There's no doubt about that. What Vieira, what he's done recently. There's no doubt about what he can do on the ball, and I think this season we're really going to see the best of Fabio Vieira. But for me, Arteta got this majorly wrong, because this for me, this wasn't a game for him. And to be, again, he was non-existent in it. I think he done one good ball to the back post, but he was getting out muscled all the time. I think, like, especially when he was on, I think it was the first half, it was like our midfield looked weak. Do you know what I mean? It was like they was, in some cases, they was bossing it. Do you know what I mean? They was winning the battle. And the first thing, I thought, what is going on here? Why are they winning the battle? Why do they look strong in the midfield? We've got Rice in there. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, and I know why. I mean, one of them was probably because, Vieira. It's not. It's a derby. It's a physical match, and I don't think he was up for it. Not up for it in that sense, but I just do not think it was a game for him today, the London derby, and it seemed to just, everything seemed to just pass him by. I could be, harsh, with me marking there, but I'm going to give him a 5.
5 for Fabio Vieira. I don't think he was much of an influence in the game. There's a few nice. He looks nice on the ball. He looks tight on the ball. I don't see a problem with his strength. It's just he needs to get used to riding challenges and the pace of the game. So far this season, he has looked well within the pace of the game. He looks like he's completely getting it. Today, it wasn't the game for him.
No.
And I agree. I was quite surprised that he started with Fabio Vieira, because just with Havertz's presence, I would have thought that he would have started Havertz, but Vieira got the nod, and I agree, didn't work. Johnny's given Fabio Vieira a 5. Potato Boy 251 says Spurs deserved the win. They bullied us. They physically dominated the game.
I won't go that far.
Vieira to be starting. We have Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, but one of the better players. Obviously scored. Was influential with the goal, the first goal, and obviously slotted the penalty away very well. Again, I feel like we need to see more of Saka over a longer period of time. Probably, I mean, we're probably getting bored of saying it. We just want to see more 90 minutes of Bukayo Saka. There are times when he does go quiet at times, and I do think that's something to do with Ben White, because last season was a little bit different. Bukayo Saka was like a 90-minute player, well, close to it. He seems to be like, if he was an 80-minute player last season, he seems to be like a bit of like a 45-minute player combined over the two halves this season. But when he does, he's effective. He scores goals and gets assists. But yeah, obviously one of the better players today. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, I think that's a fair one for Saka. I agree. He was one of our better players, especially in the first half. It did look like he was gonna Doji. He was having a bit of a torrid time with Saka in that first half, because he was having to resort to fouling him quite a lot, and I was surprised he didn't get accumulated a few more yellow cards. But just like Arsenal, drifted out of the game very quickly after they conceded in the second half. But again, he's got another goal.
Exactly.
And an assist as well, because he's going to get an assist for the Romero own goal. So he's pushing up them stats, mate. He's getting them numbers up. And that's what he's there for. Even if he does have a quiet game, mark of a good player is to still get the numbers up, still get a goal, still get an assist, put something in there. Timothy N says, "Am I the only one that thinks Arteta was pretty poor tactically when it comes to his changes?" He said Saka went missing in the second half. Russ says Saka needs a rest. The story we hear quite a lot. Will Reece Nelson be that player? He went on the right today. Will he be the player that comes in and starts on that right going forward? And Johnny looks like he agrees with Timothy on that one. Starting on the left was Gabriel Jesus today. You thought it was the wrong decision? I agree. I don't think it was the right decision. Whether we go with who I think Emil Smith-Rowe, and you thought that we should have started with who do you think we should start with?
Reece Nelson maybe on the left.
Nelson, that's it. Reece Nelson was saying.
It could be either or.
For me, Jesus, it wasn't the answer, and it wasn't right. He drifted out of the game very quickly. When he, like I said, when he was on the ball, when we got him the ball, he looked like he was going to cause Tottenham some danger, but he just wasn't on the ball enough.
Yeah, I echo that, mate. You've said it all there. Wrong position. Probably not. A lot of this, not his fault. He's obviously he tries, and he did. While he was on the pitch, and he tries and he tries and he tries, but go. I mean, so you see Timothy's comments in there, and I think it's like a bit, considering what Arteta's done over the time. I think he's got most things right with substitutions over his time here. So I think it's a bit early to start.
I know what he's talking about, but I don't agree that he's poor tactically with his changes. I think there are frustrations at times that he's not potentially making the change that you want.
But one thing I will say,
not making a change with, like, for example, the Smith-Rowe situations in recent past. But there has been a lot of times when he has made a sub, and it's made a big difference, especially this season.
And he should have been one of them. Yeah, and he should have. I mean, go back to Jesus a bit. I mean, he should have scored, shouldn't he? I mean, that was.
He's got to score. He's got to score.
I'm not going into this thing. I've seen a lot of things online, sort of like just before I come on tonight, and if that was Ivan Toney and blah 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 blah. Yeah, it'd be nice to have him and Jesus. Maybe we will get Jesus, and Tony. But I can tell you, there's not been any contact with Tony at the moment, as contrary to a lot of reports that you're seeing on online at the moment. So, with all that happening, I don't know, but yeah. But one thing I just want to say, I mean, I was baffled to the degree where I sort of got up off my sofa and was like trying to rub my eyes. I could not work out the substitution where they brought Jesus off. That standed me. I just could not work that out one bit. I mean,
how was
I
Eddie
get
on the pitch for so long? Because
mate,
when you talk about
yeah,
non-existent, I just want to get
yeah,
to. Sorry to interrupt, but
yeah. Well, this is where I was going to go.
makes such a point.
Yeah,
How was Nketiah on the pitch for so long? Because
this is
look,
it.
I like Nketiah. I'm not digging him out. Yeah, I like him. I think there's a place in the team for Nketiah, even if we do get another striker in. Because I still think we need another striker anyway, with Nketiah there.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was not there today. And when he done that wrestling move on the goalkeeper and speared him, like I was like, yeah, that's when you sub him off. Get him off, because he was just running around frustrated. And I was like, he's going to get himself another yellow card here. He's going to get himself another yellow card. And he kept him on. And that was about 15 minutes left. At that point there, bring on Smith Rowe. Bring on Smith Rowe. Timothy says 3 minutes for Smith Rowe, disrespectful. Johnny says some of the changes made should have been made sooner. And I agree. That's what I was saying earlier. I agree with that.
But mate, the change was when I see Reece Nelson getting ready, right? I thought, right, okay, I know what's going to happen here. He's going to bring Reece Nelson on. He's going to put Nelson out to the left. He's going to put Jesus down the middle, and he's going to bring Nketiah off. I would have put my ass on it, right? I would have put my ass on that. That was what was going to happen. But he brought Jesus off, and I was like, I need to sit down with you, Mikel, on this one, and you need to tell me what in your head what have you been seeing in this whole 90 minutes that made you came to that decision.
That conclusion, yeah.
What you saying? You saying Jesus can't play down the middle better than Eddie?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It didn't make sense to me.
No, I mean, I'm going to give Jesus a 6, but yeah, we'll come to Eddie. But that was just a no-brainer for me. Move him into the centre, put Nelson out to the left. You got Saka on the right, and then they even brought Saka off. I was like, it was a little bit baffling to me, that one. Yeah, and it never worked anyway, did it? So yeah. All right.
No, it didn't work. Eddie Nketiah.
No, he was terrible, mate. He was awful. He was non-existent up front. He wasn't making the runs like we've seen him do. He was giving away stupid tackles. He was just non-existent, mate. Probably, I'm like you. I'm an Eddie fan. Do you know what I mean? I love Eddie, but he was dogs today. Yeah, I mean, I was going to give him a 3, because I thought he was that bad. But I'm going to give him a 4. But I could easily give him a 3 because he did nothing, absolutely nothing.
That foul on the goalkeeper? What was he playing at there? He could have hurt him seriously. And then just chasing. He was just chasing everything. It was just like, I just feel like he's just got so frustrated. He knows he ain't had a great game. He knows he's not certain runs he hasn't made, and certain runs he second guessed himself and he should have been there and he wasn't. And he puts in that foul to show that he's been about, he's doing something, and then just looks like he's going to get himself sent off. It was just an odd decision to keep on for so long. He brought nothing to the game today. Absolutely nothing.
Why did he keep him on? He took Jesus off for him. Unless he had a knock or for some reason, I don't know. I just can't get my head around it. It's a strange one. But yeah, it was the first time we've always stuck for Upper Freddie, innit? But this was. I mean, I'm not going to get too carried away because it was one. Well, I don't know. It's a couple of games. Eddie's been poor this season, to be fair. I'm not going to get too carried away and start calling for Eddie's head. But I must admit, this was the first time that I actually did think, okay, let's see what happens in the next 5, 6, 7 games, leading up to winter. And I think maybe we may need another striker if we go on if he goes on like this. But Eddie could turn it around. We'll see.
Yeah, I think Gary Neville someone made a good point. He's got to be in the back post there. He said Ian Wright, and he says that because when you're at certain clubs and you've had certain players that play at a level and legendary names like Ian Wright, you kind of take influences from them as well, and they're the kind of like he's not even there to miss it. That's the thing.
No.
Just before that, he looked like he was just drifting around. It looked like I remember Mikel Arteta saying he was in a game at Liverpool, and he said that was the one time he ever felt where the game was just drifting past him. Everything. Every time he went to move to a ball, the ball was gone. Boom, 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 boom. I was looking at Eddie in that moment there when he could have running at the back post and just thinking, he's just watching the game. He's not in it. He's not in it. That's where Declan Rice was punching the chair because he was thinking that's where I would be. Like if you're taking up Declan Rice's position, you've got to be attacking that back post. And if you're a striker, you've got to have that instinct. It was poor from Eddie today. Like you said, I don't want to go too much into him, but he was non-existent and just not good today. We're on to the subs now. So
Odegaard.
Martin Odegaard. I keep on missing him. Missed him the other day. Martin Odegaard.
Awful. Worst game I've seen him play. Seriously, I really, really bad. I've given the ball away. No penetration from the midfield. No guile. None of that stuff that we're used to seeing with Martin Odegaard. A real bad day at the office, I thought, from him today. Whether that was something to do with what was in front of him and the way they was performing, whether that was something also to do with the way that Tottenham had a lot of control in the midfield. But yeah, I thought he had one of his worst games for Arsenal today. I could give him a 5. I don't know what the comments think. Yeah, 5. Yeah,
not influential. No way, Russ. Not having it.
No.
Not having it. Not having it.
They was all 5s and 6s today, Russ. It weren't just because of they was all 5s and 6s.
Jorginho, half-time sub.
God, well, he's
just didn't work today. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Even after the mistake, he was just off the pace.
Yeah. He tried. Yeah, I think when Rice went off, like their shoulders went up a little bit. Tottenham, so we thought, oh, we can have some of this. We might be able to, I think when they had a look about, I'm sure Ange was saying, look, they ain't got this player on the pitch, they ain't got that player on the pitch. They're not, they don't seem at it today. We can have this, and that's how it seemed a little bit. But Jorginho, that was awful mistake, terrible mistake, lost us the game, mate. And I love Jorginho. He's one of my favourite players, and but an awful mistake. We sort out the goalkeepers, and trying to, make so we don't make mistakes out there. And not that Ramsdale makes mistakes, but if you're talking fine lines, but that was awful today. I mean, 5. I think you're being well generous, John.
I think you're being generous there.
For me, he's getting a 3.
I would have given him a 4, but 3. He was.
That's because you like him.
he was
I was gonna give
detrimental to our performance in the end. Like, it wasn't that he just wasn't bad. It wasn't just like passing by. He was bad. He was really bad. He was not good today. He was off the pace, and his passing wasn't that great. Well, I think when he tried to do some incisive passes, they were a bit off. Yeah, just not good today. Frustrating for a player of his experience. Yeah, not good for Jorginho. Steve gives him a 3. Nelson.
Yeah, he looked lively when he come on. Done a few good runs. Tucked inside a couple of times. Yeah, he sort of, probably the best we looked when the substitutes come on. To be fair, through the whole game. I know I've just said maybe if we had Jesus on the pitch, something could have happened, but we seem to want to take him off for some reason. But yeah, Nelson done well today. I give him a 6.
6 for Nelson. Kai Havertz.
Yeah, without doing anything special, I thought he definitely made us stronger in the midfield. That's for one thing that was for certain. He didn't get sort of don't get muscle off the ball. He had that shot. He could have done better.
Yeah, that was set up so nicely for him. He's just got to get I can see what is happening. He's snatching at the ball. He's trying to blast it in. He needs that goal. That goal. But it doesn't even need to be. It needs to be a nice finish.
Yeah.
He needs to have a nice finish, which will get his confidence up, and it will just flow from there. Because you can just see he's trying to either smash it in or he's trying to do something, and it's pinging over. It's just that little bit of confidence. We've seen all the players there. He's a young player still. It's coming. It is coming.
It is coming. I know people keep saying. I mean, I know he give them. They keep harping on the fact that this mistake that he gave away for the goal a couple of games ago. But if you watch him, he ain't a bad player. He ain't done bad. He ain't done terrible. I think it will come. And he did all right again today. He certainly shored up that midfield for me. We want to see a lot more. But again, do you know what I mean? I think the way the whole team was playing around him, wouldn't have helped any of the substitutions. To be fair, the way the rest of them was performing. But I'll give Havertz a 6, same as the others. I don't mind that. I don't mind that, John. Trying to force it. Trying to do something. I don't mind that. I don't mind seeing that. I'd much rather sort of like see a player who's doing, put something a bit off or trying it, rather than someone who's just sitting around and doing nothing. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, but it'll come, mate. I think.
Emil Smith Rowe.
Yeah, again, he did okay when he came on. He obviously, he went more over to that left, didn't he? And yeah, he did okay. He's hopefully we'll see more of him. He'll get better as the season goes on, I'm sure. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see him in the week
Carabao
against
Cup
Brentford.
on Wednesday.
Yeah, I like to see him get a game. I give him again, like the other substitutions. I give him a 6.
6 from Smith Rowe. Yeah, I mean, he's only on for 3 minutes, which was very frustrating. Yeah, if I was Emil Smith Rowe, I'd be fuming. Emil Smith Rowe gets a 5, and he's trying to force his form. No, I agree, Steve. Yeah, it's a frustrating day for Arsenal in the North London derby. Not the end of the world. 2 points dropped, but it could be a point gained when we get to the end of the season. We're looking for those integral points in the running for either the title or a higher league position or just progression in the season. After such an exciting week in the Champions League where Arsenal looked in free-flowing football, yes, against PSV, but a tricky side nonetheless when we played them in the Europa League last season. Absolutely dismantling them this week, but we thought we could take that into the North London derby, but that did not ensue. Arsenal did start bright, getting that goal, but we have to start capitalising on that. We have to start taking out our chances when we get them. We've got to start going for the jugular when we do get that goal. Time and time again, we come in here and we speak about Arsenal scoring a goal and sitting off, allowing the other team to grow in confidence. Then that team gets the inevitable goal, or we have to hold out for a victory. It's time that Arsenal started showing their teeth a bit more. Again, I've said that many a time previously. Arsenal need to start showing their teeth and dismantling these teams, because we know we've got it, and that's why there's frustration there. When you've got the likes of Saka in the team, Declan Rice pulling the strings with Zinchenko, Odegaard, one of the most exciting midfielders in world football at the moment, and a force up front with Jesus, Martinelli, Trossard, and Smith Rowe, the lot. We've got to be taking teams apart, and we had those chances today as well. Again, not the worst result, but yeah, frustrating. That is all we have time for. Thank you for joining us today. Everyone in the comment section has been on top form. Johnny, thank you. Russ, Amari, Timothy, Potato Boy, a lot of comments in there. If you are new to the show, please press that subscribe button and press that like button. There may be a bit of a change in the schedule for the Arsenal show this week, but don't worry, we'll keep you updated on that one. Thank you for your time today, Steve.
Yeah, welcome, mate. Pleasure as always.
All right. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.